Hello, Jerry Heron, Liberal to Red Pill. This is a quick warning video and a guide for GOP candidates about the slide to Rainbow Pride targeting kids. I want to make it easy for the GOP candidates to connect the dots when it comes to gay civil rights, particularly the LGB plus T, so-called log cabin Republicans, and how to handle this issue. Now, I completely understand that alternative sexualities is neither within your realm of knowledge nor in your comfort zone. And many candidates will happily endorse the acceptable homosexuals, log cabin Republicans, and be done with it. But here's your red pill. This subject is coming to you, and you are going to have to handle it before it torpedoes your campaign. If you support log cabin Republicans, LGB plus T, you therefore support the Rainbow Pride poison agenda, which includes gender dysphoria, which is not a sexuality but a mental illness, and MAPS, minor attracted persons. That's the new code word for pedophilia. How are you going to win your election when you alienate the hard right, never Trumper evangelicals who still have a problem with gay sexuality? How are you going to win your election when you alienate the center-sane Republicans and independent voters who don't have a problem with gay sexuality but do have a problem with pedophilia? How are you going to win your election without the support of the Republican and independent voting parents rising up against CRT and Rainbow Pride's intrusion in education when you endorse Rainbow Pride LGB plus T log cabin Republicans? How are you going to justify your support for log cabin Republicans, ergo Rainbow Pride, ergo transitioning your children, ergo minor attracted persons? You are not going to win this battle, and the fight is coming to you. You need to be prepared. And what's my political provenance on this issue as an LGB thought leader? I'm a gay man with actual on-the-ground experience starting in the late 1970s marching for gay civil rights. I have personally experienced bias, bullying, prejudice, hate, violence, and attacks, and I'm passionate to stop Rainbow Pride's poison folks from turning LGB back to those dark days. We have attained both federal and state protections, and we need to retain those protections as the minority 5.6 voting bloc. LGBT folks fought hard for decades for gay civil rights, and we have attained those rights as Americans. The gay civil rights campaign has since been usurped by narcissists, perverts, gender-confused straight men, and singing and dancing drag queen freaks, and all financed by big business and big pharma. The so-called pride is nothing such and has become a catch-all for everything socially degenerate. Center-sane LGB are watching Rainbow Pride poison, endangering those rights with their constant campaign for special rights, the right to public nudity, the right to public sex, the right to introduce sexual kin to your kids, the right to push drag queen story hour on your kids from birth to age 5 as promoted by the City of Phoenix library system, the right to guide your children into gay sexuality, the right to affirm and endorse your children being transitioned into another sex with body-altering and destructive surgery, making them lifelong big pharma customers. They are sterilizing your daughters and castrating your sons. Here's a clue, straight world. Gay folks have never needed a user manual nor a tour guide, especially from woke heterosexuals. We don't need your gay virtual signaling by taking school kids to a gay nightclub to show them how to be gay. We figured it out all on our own. Now, I have never paid much attention to log cabin Republicans 20 years ago as a gay lefty liberal. I do remember seeing these ordinary-looking gay conservatives in media and thinking, those look like the sort of people I want to hang out with, except for their politics and their faith. But local Republican patriot acquaintances have commented to me that log cabin Republicans 30 years ago were not Rainbow Pride. The slide to Rainbow Pride has been a slow poison handed down from their DCHQ and dictated to all their state groups. A good example is Richard Grenell, who was President Trump's ear and was pressing for an inclusion of a gender dysphoric man into high office, just like the Democrats. A body dysphoria is not a qualification for anything except psychiatric help. Now, how is this different from the Democrats' woke agenda of many sexes, fluid sexuality, and everything up is suddenly down? I briefly attended Log Cabin Republicans' Phoenix chapter and was constantly censored for using LGB and not their official LGB plus T for transgender. When I pushed back, they stated they'd take their dictate from DC, and they were also nervous that a single transgender member would sue for discrimination. Not one bothered to ask that transgender member whether he was a straight or gay gender dysphoric, the tail firmly wagging the dog. Why would any GOP candidate support this? Those same local Republican patriots have also questioned me about the plus symbol in the ever-changing LGBTQ alphabet whatevers, now with the plus meaning pedophilia. This was news to me because I thought the plus symbol simply meant they had run out of alphabet letters for the ridiculous inclusive acronyms. But I started to ask gay acquaintances whether they could confirm or deny what the plus stood for. None were able to. I really thought this was an ancient trope tying same-sex attracted adults to somehow also including attraction to children. I never understood that assertion. So I started listening harder to the concern of conservatives. I started to pay closer attention to the poison put out by Rainbow Pride. And yes, indeed, there has been a long and concerted effort by the Democrats and Rainbow Pride to include the legalization of pedophilia, now euphemistically referred to as minor attracted persons, MAPs.
I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile.
Not only have Democrats started changing laws lowering the age of sexual consent, there is a growing acceptance in the rainbow community for MAPs. Now, it's totally up to you if you believe this advocacy or not, but I will tell you that I knew about this push in the late 1970s with NAMBLA. This is just the latest rebranding. Do you have any idea what the backlash is going to look like when patriots and parents and the majority voting bloc finally figure out this poisonous rainbow agenda? I do, because I've lived it. I do because I'm witnessing this harsh backlash once again now in Eastern Europe, in Poland, in Russia, in Hungary, in the Czech Republic, all removing gay equal right laws. We're going back to the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and the 1970s. Attacking LGB in their celebrations, their pubs, their clubs, and openly in the street. I've lost patience with the Rainbow Pride group thinkers and go along to get along who think everything gay sexuality is benign. It is just folks dressing up and having fun. I'm also losing patience with the shallow thinkers in the GOP who don't want to touch the subject because it's controversial. Perfect example, our own AZ GOP chairwoman, Kelly Ward, who is an official Rainbow Rhino, celebrating gay pride.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kelly Ward. I'm the chairwoman of the Republican Party of Arizona, and I want to say Happy Pride Month. I want people in the LGBT community to know you are welcome in the Republican Party. We celebrate the diversity of our country, of our world here at the Republican Party. I encourage all right-leaning, right-thinking, conservative people, no matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what the color of your skin is, no matter where you were born, to join this Republican Party. Join us in our efforts to keep America first. Help us to save our republic. Again, happy Pride Month. See you soon.
So here is the easy out for GOP candidates. What are you going to do when they come for you and ask those awkward questions? Question, do you support LGBTQ Rainbow Pride? Answer, I support equal rights for all Americans, including LGB. United States Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 1. We declare that all men are created equal. Please don't be suckered into the woke speak by including the Q and the T. Q is the N word for LGBT. It is a slur. T is a gender dysphoria. It's not a gay sexuality. Stick with the facts, not woke world fantasy. Question, do you endorse LGB plus T log cabin Republicans? Answer, I support LGB Patriots whose pride colors are red, white, and blue, not rainbow. And when log cabins outreach you, make 2 simple suggestions to attain your support. Remove the T from the LGBT. Stop supporting rainbow anything, including their hedonistic debauched pride parades. We don't need rainbow anything. Stop supporting the targeting and transitioning of kids into body-altering sex surgery. It is nothing more than child abuse. So, GOP candidates, what's it going to be? Are you going to join the long list of the GOP already in office supporting the Fairness for All Act? This act will make a mental illness a protected class, giving perverts and predators legal protection and easy access to women's and girls' spaces, women's locker rooms and changing rooms, women's bathrooms and women's sports. It astounds me still, as a single senior childless gay man, that I have to constantly advocate for your children and warn you about rainbow pride. Your single job as a parent or as a grandparent is to protect your kids. When are you going to start? Stop supporting log cabin LGB plus T, so-called Republicans. Start supporting LGB Republicans and LGB Patriots. Stop the slide to rainbow pride targeting your kids. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.